Dopamine is the beast in all of us. It's what drives all of humanity to get up every morning and do something important. It's what drove the astronauts to the moon. But there are some downfalls to this chemical. Dopamine can be our best friends, but it can also be our worst enemies. After the moon landing, when Buzz Aldrin got back to the Earth, he described his journey as magnificent desolation. He felt depressed. He felt like there was nothing better to do than going to the moon. What could top that? So he fell into depression. He became an alcoholic. He got divorced. Dopamine can get you from your highest of highs to your lowest of lows, just like that. However, dopamine is not the only brain chemical that governs your bodies. There's also serotonin, oxytocin, endorphins. These are called the here and now chemicals because they make us feel good in the here and in the now. Dopamine is the chemical of what you desire, not what you have. See, the reason why we evolved this is because our ancestors had to go out and find food and water and find partners so that they can survive and live on and pass down their genes. If they didn't do that, if they didn't have the motivation to do that or the desire for more, they would have died. Dopamine spikes really happen after you get something that you didn't expect to get. So for example, if I go to the store every morning, but one particular morning I find a $50 bill on the ground, I'm gonna get a huge spike in dopamine. But if every morning I found that same $50 bill, there'd be less and less dopamine spikes. So it's not that rewards give you more dopamine. It's actually quite the opposite. The more you get rewarded over and over again, the less and less dopamine you get. It's the anticipation of more rewards that really makes dopamine increase. So it's the desire of the things we don't have at the moment that gives us that dopamine, right? If I think of something I want, a new car, a new house, a new career, that gives me dopamine, because it makes me want to be motivated to get those things. This is why social media can be quite harmful, because we're always looking online, looking at the latest thing to get or other people's stuff they have, and you're constantly fearing or missing out on that. So your dopamine rises and spikes all the time, and you're continuously on social media scrolling through things that you want and desire, and now your dopamine just slowly dwindling over time, causing depression, causing you to be less motivated. But does this mean that we're like a hamster on a wheel, constantly trying to chase this dopamine rush? Not quite. See, the brain has two systems. It has the circuitry for dopamine, which motivations and goals for the future, but the other system is remember the here and now chemical system, where it's working on the here and the now, the present moment, being happy in the present moment. So if you understand the science behind the brain and you can balance those two systems together, you can, in a sense, tame the beast. Dopamine can be our greatest of friends and help us do the most amazing things and make for a way better world, but it can also damage us and be our worst enemies. That's why understanding the science behind the brain can enhance our lives in almost every way, from our careers to relationships, finances, and more. A good book to read about this is Taming the Molecule of More by Daniel Lieberman. He's an actual neuroscientist, and Michael Long. The book goes into more detail about the science behind it, and that's why I recommend it. The book comes out April 15th, but I have early access to it. You can pre-order it on Amazon if you want to. But thank you for watching. I hope you enjoy this series. See you next time.